The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the February 18th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there's having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. The easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I am absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, and you should be, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. So we got a mixed, we don't have a mixed bag out here. We got a sea of red when it comes to U.S. indices. Dow is down 213, S&P 22, 97 for the NASDAQ 100, 7 points for the Russell, 232 for the transports, 82 for the semi, 66 for the composite. New York Stock Exchange down 75. Gold's up $14, silver 40 cents, light crude $1.30, natural gas up a penny, 30-year Treasury flat, printed out at 117.17. Our leaders in the clubhouse to the upside, John Deere up $70 or 11%, Comfort Systems $30, 2%, SanDisk $20, 3%, Texas Pacific Land Corp $16, nearly 4%, Lockheed Martin, $17, about a 3% move there. Our shakers to the downside, led by Booking Holdings, a $319 move, 7.5%. EPAM Systems, $37 or 22%. Madrigal Pharmaceuticals, $34, 7%. Pool Corp, down $34. That's a 13% move in Carvana, down $31, nearly 9%. Avis is down 20%. That's a $24 move there. So plenty to look at. We begin with that New York Stock Exchange. As I mentioned at the 11 o'clock top of the hour out there, we did get to a new all-time high again yesterday, another new all-time high. What that does is that shifts. It doesn't mean we can't have a decline, but any decline we do get is going to be pretty minimal. Pretty minimal, at least over the course of the next couple weeks. Don't expect anything to get rolling and rocking to the upside or to the downside in the markets out there. Now, the one caveat there is really that spot VIX index, which still remains elevated. It still remains above the top of its 50-day expense moving average, which is 1771. I feel a whole lot more comfortable if that was down below the 50-day expense moving average, but it is that market breadth that is simply offsetting the moves lower out there. We take a look at moves lower. If we look at the daily equity future contracts out here, we'll see that the ES Mini has both a larger consolidation pattern. If we go ahead and we pull it back, that's a consolidation that it's trading within, and then price is trading with inside its profile that is inside that consolidation pattern. Price finding support this morning down at the 68.62 level, the bottom of that profile. Also finding resistance at its oscillator and change line, right around the 69.18 level. So that creates your trading range out there for those of you that are intraday trading the ES Mini. Inside the NQ, price finds support at its profile level, 24,856, and it's got resistance at its oscillator and change line, 25,038. The oscillator and change line really acting as the real key resistance level for the NQ. You can see we have been below that oscillator and change line ever since the on January 29th time frame out there. So for nearly a month, not exactly just yet, but we're getting pretty close. Finally, the Dow equity future contract, it needs to clear its oscillator and change line as well. If it can do that, which is at 49,876, we ought to see a rise to the 5611 level, but perhaps complete that A to B equals CD pattern in the 51,000 plus range. Finally, the Russell 2000 needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Short of that, we are just consolidating with inside its daily profile. 2613 to 2692. It does have an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, gets us into that 2800 level out there. So we've had 2-day rally inside the ES Mini. Maybe we have a pullback. It's just sideways consolidation, Mark. You got that NQ. Let me pull this back here. The NQ giving us that consolidation measure by having the profile that it just recently formed completely wrap around the prior profile, and that generates that consolidation message. All we had to do is go out and figure out where the consolidation pattern is, and here you can see we've got it on our screen out there. You do have price testing so far. This is the NQ testing and rejecting the high of its swing point from back on November 21st. That high out there is at 24,835. So that's a positive, but of course the negative is still that oscillator and change line. But if the NQ were to close above that oscillator and change line, boy, you would have a change in character out there. That character would take price up to the 25,473, maybe even to the top of his profile, 26,090 out there. Of course, we'd have to go take a look at the charts that make up the NQ out there to see what kind of signals they are providing to you and I. And we may be able to do that. I don't have that many requests in at this moment in time. In fact, what do we shift to next out here? Let's go shift to the intraday charts here. Let's just kind of cover those. We've got the NQ up on our screen right now. The NQ, if you look at the 10-minute and 15-minute, you'll see those Rhodes momentum indicator bottoms out there. So those bottoms establish that low of the day. That's very key. If we close below that low, we likely see lower price. What is that low of the day so far? Down at 24,763 out there. To the upside, it's really the 120-minute time frame chart, which has a TD9 count top. If price is able to close above that high at 25,036.75, we'd be off to the races to the upside out there. So that is really your range to the downside and to the upside. Whichever one breaks points to the next directional move out there. Now, obviously, that's a wide range out here. I would say on the 10 and 15-minute charts, since they have those bottom signals out there, if price can clear 24,937, we ought to see a further rally out there. Let's take a look at the ES mini charts. Let's get those populated. ES 0326. We'll also do this. I don't know if we're going to have a chance. We can maybe do it. We'll come back from the break. We'll take a look at gold on the intraday chart as well. Here on the ES mini, you can see price running into, it's got support at the bottom of the profile, 68.62 resistance. It's oscillator and change line, close to the 69.18 level. It also has a 10-minute and 15-minute Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. It also has a 2-hour TD9 count top. That establishes your range out there. So to the downside, what you're watching is the price point of 68.57. To the upside, what you're watching is the price point of 69.25.75 out there. So that gives you your range for the ES and the NQ, so that those of you that are trading intraday, you've got some things to be paying attention to. You may also want to take a snapshot of these screens out here. So I'll go ahead and put the gold contract up. We're in the April contract there. Don't know that this will populate in the next 15 seconds when we go to break. So we'll take a look at this. I think when we come back from this break out there, what we do see on gold is a 4-hour TD9 count top. So that's going to establish our threshold to the upside. That TD9 count top is basically, well, we're in the bar following bar number 9. So this 2-hour and 40-minute chart's not going to complete until 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. today. So by 2 p.m., you're going to have a completed TD9 count top for Goldilocks. So I kind of watch that. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no cash or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the gold contracts out there. So we can, if we look at the 30-minute time frame chart, it formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top at about 4:30 this morning. Price pulls back, tests, and rejects its breakout level at 49.8490. So to the downside, that's the area that I'd be watching for gold. And to the upside right now, about the best that I've got for you. Take a look at the 60-minute chart that's got that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that's building. So 50.4280. I'd say if we're able to close above that. But do remember, by 2 p.m., you're going to have a completed 4-hour TD9 count topping pattern out there, with support really being down at about the 49.2270 level out there. So that's what's going on with Goldilocks. Let me just... I'll just finish one thing. Let's go take a look at our first request out here. This coming in from Duncan Steve. Wants to take a look at ASML Holdings. ASML is the ticker symbol. So let's get that up on our screen. We got the SPY right now. We don't want that. We want ASML to assist Steve-O with regard to what this is doing for its daily, its weekly, and its monthly time frame. So on a daily time frame out here, ASML is consolidating with inside its daily profile. It has a daily Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. The profile's got a buy zone between 1390.99 and 1408.08, and it's got resist up at 1476. The real resistance here, Steve-O, would be that dark cloud cover candle that established that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top back on January 28th, and so this needs to close above 1493.40 to get its mojo back. Turns out the weekly chart has a completed TD9 count top that needs to close above 1493.48 to get its mojo as well. So you got 2 topping patterns out here. When we look at the weekly topping pattern, the TD9 count top completed 3 weeks ago, back January the 30th out there, and price has really not moved to the downside at all. In fact, we saw the following week price get down towards its oscillator and change line. but then move higher. Again, that oscillator and change line is green, tells us the price oscillator is above zero, and that is a bullish condition. So the weekly chart is actually neutral out here. Because the daily chart is trading with inside its profile, can't go neutral just yet. It'll close above 1476.40, and that changes. The monthly time frame will likely go ahead and form a TD9 count top this month, the end of February, and complete that in March, which would then unfold as a retracement back to the 1084 level. We can look at so many different charts out there, Steve-O, and we will see monthly charts that are in TD9 count configuration out there. Well, that is what has me believing, at least at this moment in time, that the pattern that we are on is the seasonal pattern associated with midterm elections. This happens to be the 98-year cycle for the S&P 500. The 98-year cycle shows a consolidating pattern that basically begins at the beginning of the year. That's the message that we got just a few days ago from the NQ, and we drew in those consolidating patterns both the ES and the NQ out there. So this shows a consolidating market. It shows it really trends higher, basically into March 20th or so. We get a little shock to the downside for about a week or 10 days, and then one final move to the upside right around April, the tax day, right around April 15th, 18th, 19th, somewhere there, before we start the seasonal cycle during midterm elections that has us moving lower into the September timeframe. We can take a look at the Dow. The Dow's got more data. It's got 128 years worth of data. Let's go ahead and put that up on our screen out here. We'll show you that same cycle. We just have to get this thing set up, and then we'll just hit that midterm election. You can see got that same exact pattern out here. April the 21st is when the Dow typically forms its top during the midterm election cycle, again with the low coming all the way down into the end of September out there. So that has me thinking, at least at this moment in time with those TD9 counts, that the TD9 count top doesn't really take place, Steve-O, until we get into this April time period here. And then we start moving lower for several months. It's a normal. So we'd have April. So you get May, June, July, August. A 4-month move to the downside, maybe with September being a push below the August low before we start heading higher, setting up that Santa Claus rally type season. So that's what it seems to be setting up to me, Steve-O. Every single chart, not every single chart, but most charts that we put up that have any significance, Nasdaq holding most certainly does, has got that monthly TD9 count pattern out there. So I hope that helped you out. You want to take a look at Ford as well. Now, I can't guarantee you that Ford is going to have that monthly TD9 count pattern out there. Let's go see what ticker symbol F is doing out here. You got Ford trading out at 1392. It's with inside a very wide-ranging profile. You've got support down at 1320, resistance up at 1450 out there. The weekly time frame. I see wave number 7 top out there. That is letter G, with a high-level consolidation, meaning prices above profile resistance at 1371. So we're going to give that a neutral type signal. I take it back. Even Ford as a TD9 count top for its monthly time frame, which completed last month. Now, Steve-O, for you, what's really important is watching the high from last month, because if price closes above, that doesn't have to be in February, but if price closes above 1450, you'll negate that signal, and Ford will suggest that it is headed higher, much, much higher out there. If we open up this monthly chart out there, we'd start heading back to its swing point from January back in 2022 out there. So one quick view of these charts here. Is there anything else? So nothing else that I can see that I can share for you. So I hope that helps you out with regard to Ford Motor Corporation. Dan had wanted to take a look at Nike on the multi-time frame set of charts out there. So I'm going to go ahead, Dan. I don't have a lot of requests in here, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Nike. So we look at the day or the monthly time frame. You'll see that Nike is finding support right now at its oscillator and change line. That's where it's got support resistance at the bottom of its profile at 67.36. There's your trading range. The weekly price is traded with inside its profile 61.50 to 69.97. The daily is traded above profile resistance at 63.56. So that's a good thing. That would suggest that price wants to move higher, but the 195-minute chart has gotten in the way. Price got up, looked promising at about 12:45 in the afternoon yesterday, as price got up and closed above 65.64, the TD9 count breakdown resist, but the very next bar, right back below it. And now it looks like Nike wants to go target the 63.52 to 63.76 area, but first it's got to close below 64.24. That is the 130-minute oscillator and change line. The 130-minute chart has a TD9 count top. Now, what we can see out here with regard to Nike, if the retracement that is underway is just a counter trend move, it finds support could find support here, but it would find support between 63.58 and 64.08, or basically 64.24 right now. It's oscillator and change line out there. So that's a possibility. Now, if Nike has bottomed on the 130-minute time frame chart, we would see some kind of signals coming from the 30 and the 15, and we don't have those just yet. So that's what's going on with Nike, likely to pull back further. But it's got to get through 64.24 out there. Dan was also mentioning ticker symbol SLS. Let's go take a look at this. He says it's got some promising longer-term views here with a nice move higher. So let's go take a look at it. Right now, we've got SLS that is trading at $4.05. And Dan, you got to like today's action, at least as of 11:26 in the morning. Why does Stevie say that? Because prices trade above a green oscillator and change line. No Spin was asking about the oscillator and change line. It is not a moving average, but this is a line that you absolutely want to know. Boy, if you want to know where a significant level of support or resistance is at, and what happens when you close above or below a green or a red one, boy, that's just super important. And right now, what we don't know, we do know prices trading into, it's above one level of resistance, 377, top of its profile, into another at 401. We're trading at 405. Doesn't exactly blow my skirt up. Not that I wear skirts out there. But if we do get it close above that green oscillator and change line, you now are in bullish conditions. And that would say, because we are above all resistance levels for the daily time frame, that this should continue to move higher. Move higher to where? Well, for a daily time frame, I look back to the prior swing points out here. So that would be January 22nd as well as January 5th.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. I went right through that break. I don't even know how long I was talking before we were in there. So let me just re-summarize as I can as best as possible what we look at on SLS. So the daily looks very promising, and it closed above that green oscillator and change line at about 401 is going to be a bullish move and suggests that we move higher. We'll take a look at its swing points as the next price target levels on the daily time frame. The weekly time frame, prices trade above its green oscillator and change line with inside its bullish structured profile. This increases the odds of another run for 480, the top of its profile. Now, if it can clear, it's got a wave 7 top, that's letter G out there, and if it can close above that high, that's 518, that's your real key level of resistance, then we start really moving to the upside. Now, we open up this weekly chart out here, you can see you've got a swing point, which had a big gap to the downside back in November. So that's a next target area. That high is at 558, the low is at 438 out there. And that gap down with some pretty big volume. It was 5 million shares, I believe, that it gapped down with. So that's going to be another key level out there. So you're going to have to just take this one progression step at a time. But you like the daily right now. We like the weekly charts. And that's what I see with regard to SLS. Let's move on and take a look at AMD. It's got its charts populated. By the way, sometime, I don't know which days it's going to be this week or it's next week, but grandchild number 9 on its way, due on Tuesday, but my daughter's going in today to the doctors. And last time she went to the doctors a few days before, we saw baby that evening. So my point is that when we don't know if this one's a boy or a girl, which is pretty cool. Actually, I like that, and so it's going to be a great surprise. And but as soon as that little one starts to move, Stevie's going to move too, and that means I won't be able to do any shows. At least for a few days or what have you out there. So that's what's going on. We take a look at AMD. This is for Sid out here. AMD is trading with inside its daily profile, Sid. So you've got a buy zone between 197.70 and 204.68. You have resistance or profile resistance at 218.64. You've got oscillator and change line, which is inside that profile. So that would be a resistance level on a rally right now, printing at 211.90. What I don't see out here, I take that back. What I do see is a Gartley buy pattern. And that Gartley buy pattern, so the A to B looked like this. You had a TD9 count top. That takes us down to this low on January 23rd. That retracement looks like about maybe a 0.6 rate retracement or less than that. There's your A to B. Here's your B to C leg. We did more than a 1-to-1, probably about a 1-to-2. Those are confirmed with bullish reversal candles. Here we've got that right here. That came in on the trading day of, that came in on the trading day of February the 6th out there. So you got a bottom pattern. Now, what that also establishes for you, Sid, is real key support is going to be the low of the pattern, or the February 5th low. So if you get a close below 190.72, you're headed lower. Headed lower to where? Well, we already have that figured out on the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly chart, you can see the consolidation pattern. And if price were to close below the consolidation pattern, let's call it right now, let's call it this bullish hammer candle, and that low being about 197.53. If we were to close below that, then you would have a measured move equal to or greater than the consolidation pattern, get us down towards a 118-ish level out there. The weekly time frame has a sell the D point topping pattern as well. But again, just a sideways consolidation with a daily bottom. That says that we ought to see price rally. So you know that you've got 204.68 as a battle, followed by 211.65-ish, followed by 218.64. The monthly time frame chart, doesn't have a top just yet. A bearish reversal candle at the end of this month would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top, but we don't have that at this moment in time. Yes, it's a bearish candle at this minute, but it's only the 19th of the month out there. And its oscillator and change line has acted as support, as well as the top of its profile. So those are neutral signals out there. So I'd say AMD ought to be able to rally, but now you've got the full chart. Take a snapshot of it. You know, if we start breaking below, we negate that Gartley buy pattern on a daily time frame, we are likely headed lower. Sat P writes in, would like to take a CRWV. There we go. Core Wave, I believe, is the ticker symbol, is the name. And you got CRWV trading with inside its bearish structured sell zone. That's on a daily time frame. That's between 94.23 and 102.32 out there. If we get it closed below the 94.23 level, it's going to increase the odds of a move to 78.05, and that could be the area where you would look to add a few shares. But I wouldn't have you add a few shares while the daily's trading into a sell zone, and the weekly is trading below profile support right now, testing its oscillator and change line, and the monthly chart is absolutely no use to us. Not enough data out there. So your buy area out here, I'd have to say, would be around 78.05. That's assuming that price is pulling back into that area with less than 23 million shares. So that's what I'd be watching for, and that area being the top of being 81.97, the swing point from February 5th out there. That's what we see when we take a CRWV. You also want to take a look at Broadcom, AVGO. So let's get that up on our screen, see what kind of signals we have here. We've got Broadcom. She is trading out at, well, that's a good question, $336.39. And with inside its daily profile, that has support at 313.18, resists up at 339.99 or at 336. I can't have you add a few shares as you're trading up into resistance. I could ask you to do that as price we're trading into support, and that's down at the 313.18 level. So that would be an area where you could consider adding some shares. What you'd like to see price do is pull back with volume with less than 43 million shares, should have pulled back towards that 313 level. The weekly time frame, we've got a consolidation with inside its profile that formed last week. SAT, that's between 321.44 at support and 354.12 as resistance. And finally, when we take a look at the monthly time frame, you've got a TD9 count, Rhodes momentum indicator top, price trading with inside its profile, 217.81 is the bottom, 392.74 is the top, and price right now trading right at its oscillator and change line. As long as it can remain above that level, conditions are not too shabby. It's almost, but it's not, almost more neutral. So the daily, the weeklies, the monthly's got the top. The weekly, you know, it's got bearish profile change in trend, so it's kind of signaling the potential for a move lower out there, and the daily just consolidating with inside its profile. That's what I've got for you, Sat. I know that's not exactly what you wanted, but it's the best that Stevie could do. Let's go take a look at natural gas out here. And in fact, to do that, let's go take a look at the intraday charts out here. This is for Joe, and Joe's looking for some kind of support, some kind of bottom. Joe's probably not the only one looking for that. So let's go ahead and get those charts up on our screen. Now I can see this time the clock's got me down with about 25 seconds before we go to break. So we're definitely going to look at the natural gas charts for Joe. We come back to this break. We're also going to try to answer the question for Brent in Martinez, California. And it's an interesting question, and that is Bitcoin going to 50,000 or 80,000 next? And Stevie is going to try to tackle that question. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. I've got the March contract for natural gas up on my screen. We're rolling over into the October contract, the April contract here. But right now for March, and I don't know what's inside, what instrument you're trading. You're not trading UNG, so I'm not sure what instrument it is. You need to know what future contract it is. But the March contract has got support at $2.85. That is its TD9 count breakout level. You have a TD9 count bottom on the 2-hour time frame chart. A price were to close below $2.98, 2.983. You're headed lower out there. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can pop. We can. I know we can. Let's put the April contract up here as well. I think it was KOLD or something that you are trading. You really have to go see it, and I just don't know what the holdings are inside that. Let me see if I can find it out real quickly. I put KOLD holdings. Let's see if anything pops up. That's why the April contract here is populating. So right now, cold. About the fund. Exposures. It had the March contract, 100% March contract as a 218. So, okay. And they're going to roll over into the May contract. So April's not good enough for us. So let's go to May out here. Glad that we checked. And again, I'm going to give you a support level out there. There's an A to B equals CD pattern on the downside as well out there. So I just be very careful here with natural gas. So right now, it's the March contract as of today. Yeah, as of last night, I should say. And it's going to be rolling over into the May contract out here. So with regard to May, the number that you're watching, as long as you're going to stay in KOLD, is going to be $2.909. That's a daily TD9 count breakout level. If we close below that, the A to B equals CD pattern that is in place out here, I don't show it out there, that will just simply re-trigger it and you'll start to see lower price. With regard to the 2-hour time frame chart, you have a TD9 count bottom. And that says if you see price close below $2.893, 2.893 on a 2-hour time frame, you're headed lower out there. To the upside, I don't see anything out here that's of significance. I guess the 2-hour TD9 count top. And that says you need a close above $3.04, 3.048 to be exact, to tell you that you're headed to the upside. So that's what's going on with regard to, in essence, cold, because it's taking its P's and Q's from the natural gas March contract today, but starting soon, May of 2026 out there. So let's go try to answer Brent's question, which is what's up next for Bitcoin, 80,000 or 50,000? And the answer to that question, I think, is pretty easy, Brent. It is 50,000. Now, how does Stevie come up with that? Well, let's go ahead and open up the weekly time frame chart out there. And so the weekly time frame chart, you're going to see an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside out here. Now, let me just move this just a tad, make it look pretty. Right, there's your A to B. Well, I wasn't even exactly it. Let me now get the exact, to the extent that I can, the exact A to B equals CD. So I'm going to just get rid of this one in case this was wrong. And I'm going to tell you approximately within a few bucks where the A to B equals CD pattern has us targeting, Brent. And that on the weekly basis has us targeting right about 51,640. And we're trading below profile support. We're trading below its red oscillator change. Now, granted, the profiles may be wrong out there, because I had to switch to the continuous contract in order to really be able to answer that question. I needed to have a better visual as to what's going on. So the A to B equals CD pattern gets us down to 51,000. Now we look at a continuous contract on a monthly basis. There's not anything here to suggest that we don't head lower. In fact, this says you get back to 29,585. I'm not making that call. I'm just telling you what the monthly chart is signaling to you and I. And on a daily time frame, let's open this up, see if there's anything over here on the left-hand side that we need to be paying attention to. We try to pull this back. I'd have to add a whole bunch more data to do that. So you can see the daily A to B equals CD pattern, the weekly A to B equals CD pattern out there. So I think that more likely than not, 50,000-ish is your answer, Brent, versus 80,000. Jambalaya inside the Tiger's Den is interested in IYT. I believe that is the Transportation Index ETF out here. So let's pull that up on our screen. A moment. So we got IYT. IYT trading out right now at $81.07. We're going to start with the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame is trading about profile resistance and its oscillator and change line. Those are bullish conditions, period. So this is in a full breakout mode. I also see, as you probably see, I see an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. So let's go ahead and draw this in. We'll see if it was confirmed with volume. It doesn't matter whether it was confirmed with volume or not. That doesn't mean that the pattern doesn't exist. So there's your A to B point. We're going to simply copy. We're going to paste, and now we're going to assemble. And that makes us all CPAs out there. And that gives us an initial A to B equals CD up price projection on a monthly basis, Jam, in the 89.93 level. Bar number 8 is going to form this month. You could get a TD9 count top between this month and the next two. As well, a bearish reversal candle would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now, none of those are going to come to fruition, at least at this moment in time, but those are things you just need to be aware of. But the monthly says we head up 89.93. The weekly has got no problem with that. Why? It's trading above profile resistance at 77.15 and its oscillator and change line at 78.82. We do have wave number 7 that has been triggered, and therefore a lower high this week, which is a very much a possibility, would then signal a wave 7 top out there. And that would then suggest that price could pull back to test its oscillator and change line. And here's where it gets a little screwy for Stevie, because it's hard for me to interpret this. We're looking at this week being bar number 7 and likely get a confirmation. We can also see that the low this week has been a test and rejection of that green oscillator and change line. Well, here's the good news. Price is trading above profile resistance and its green oscillator and change line. And whether it's tested that area or not, the signal's neutral because you're above all resistance levels, even with a potential top. And now to the daily time frame. Looks to me like the daily might have completed a small sell the D point top. Let's go ahead and draw that A to B equals CD pattern in here. Oops, that's not it. Let's get the proper tool out there, Stevie, the line tool. So there's your A to B point. Let's just move that over to the C point. That's the lowest low that forms after that B point. And there you go. We get pretty close. Not exactly, but close. We're going to say close enough for Stevie's workout here. Nonetheless, that solid D point found support at the bottom of his profile, 78.44. The work to the downside may, in fact, be over. If you get a close below 78.44, well, that's an incorrect statement. If you get a close above a bearish engulfing candle, the high from February 11th, that's at 83.07. Well, then you're probably back off to the races to the upside out there. So, Jam, that's what I see with regard to IYT. Hope that helps you out. As always, thank you so much for your request out there. Let me see if anything has come in by email at this stage here. Jim Kramer sent me an email. Why, I don't know. And I'll never know. I'll just delete this stuff. Okay, I don't see any other requests out there. EXKPL. Let's see what we've got here. EX. I can pull this up. EXKPL. All right. Let's go see what EX. I screwed it up. EXK. Is this EXK? Oh, EXK, please. EXK. Hey, eventually I'll catch on out there. You're just testing me. And I really blew that test. All right, so let's say take a look at EXK out here. Mining stock is my recollection. And you got this trading with inside its daily profile. And the daily profile's got support at 1102, resist up at 1232 out there. The weekly time frame has a... we'll be right back to finish up EXK.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the EXK. This is for Satish inside the Tiger's Den out here. Starting with the monthly time frame chart out here, Satish. What you can see is we're going to go ahead and form a TD9 count, a topping pattern at the end of this month, and it'll complete next month out there. So just be aware of that. The weekly topping pattern completed a TD9 count and Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It did that the week of January 30th. And price pulled back, and it continues to test that green oscillator and change line. And that level is holding. So that's a pretty strong signal. Now, what it needs to do is it needs to close about 1257. That's the top of its weekly profile. If it can do that, it still has resistance. That's going to be the high of the pattern, or its all-time high, which is up, or it appears to be the all-time high, which is up at the price point of 1515 out there. The daily time frame had a wave number 7 top. That's letter G out there. And that led to this decline. That decline we know found support where? At the weekly oscillator and change line. So we know, because here we don't see any support, right, on the daily time frame, but we do see it on the weekly time frame. So we totally understand by taking a daily, weekly, and monthly exactly what's going on with regard to this instrument. And I suggest that really everybody do the same thing. If you just look at one time frame, you're probably going to miss something, and miss something may be very important to you. So the daily here, it's just trading with inside its daily profile out there. So you need to see a close above 1232. That would be a good start. That would be the top of the daily profile. Then we're likely to see a further rally. That would take us up to 1257. If you get above 1257, you go back and you explore the high out there. So that's what we see there. Hope that helps you out. Real quickly here, I'll put up the intraday charts for the NQ. There's not anything that has changed since we last reviewed these charts out there, but we'll put them up anyways. Again, what you're watching to the downside. Now, this is ultra to the downside because I got a 10-minute TD9 count top as well as that Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. So the low hasn't changed out there. I'm just waiting for this to populate. My apology. Come on, do this before we're off the air. So to the downside, the number you're watching, this is Ultra 24,817 short term. And then to the upside, what you're watching is a TD9 count high, and that's up at the 24,959.50 level. Folks, have a terrific Thursday. Thanks so much for joining us. I will see you tomorrow on Fabulous and Fantastic Friday. Take care and be safe out there.